Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Scott Galvin, and let's queer up business. Trump administration targets poppers, cracking down on LGBTQ plus businesses. The Trump administration has now set its sights on poppers, a popular product in LGBTQ plus communities. Double Scorpio, known for its poppers and other products, has ceased operations after an FDA search and seizure at its offices. The FDA, under Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s leadership, is cracking down on poppers despite their long-standing legal gray area. Double Scorpio shared a statement last week saying, quote, "We've always cared about making an authentic product and supporting our community," end quote, adding that the FDA's actions are not isolated. Other companies like Pac-West Distributing have experienced similar crackdowns. Poppers, used mainly for euphoria and relaxation, have faced growing scrutiny. The FDA has warned against using poppers, citing serious health risks, but until now, it hadn't targeted producers. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who believes poppers cause AIDS, is fueling this push. His controversial views on public health, including conspiracy theories about HIV, have raised alarm among LGBTQ plus advocates. The National LGBTQ Task Force and others have condemned his appointment, calling his approach harmful to vulnerable communities. As businesses close, queer voices are pushing for continued support of queer businesses, creators, and local communities. I mean, what a trope to say that poppers or any one thing causes AIDS.
Yeah.
You know, like it just that I am near 60, and I know people who died, and for anybody to politicize that in a place like South Florida, that is the epicenter of HIV infections in the country, it's not going to do anybody any good.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
It's junk science, and it's just meant to shock and awe, and I'm sure that more than half the country is cheering this on.
RFK is a lunatic, okay? He's got worms in his head for a reason, right? The guy is not well, all right? And saying statements like that are so harmful, okay? So harmful because people believe it, okay? His last name is Kennedy, all right? So there are people out there that'll go, oh, okay, those poppers, yes, they should be eliminated because they cause AIDS. You know, I mean, and we'll say it like that, rolling off the tongue like nothing. Poppers do not cause AIDS.
I feel like we're back in 1985 here, okay? It's like, you know, like where people thought that like you can get AIDS by kissing. It's so ridiculous. We have so much more knowledge that we know about this disease since 40 years of this. So yeah, it's outrageous. And they're just going to say and do outrageous things at this point because they just don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to see it. This is, again, everything we're seeing now is just the first steps. He's only been in office for 2 months.
Wow.
This is a precursor to saying, well, you know, poppers causes AIDS, and when people get drunk, they get out and become sexually promiscuous, and that causes AIDS.
Right.
And then they're going to start coming after more mainstream things that the communities in general are using. I mean, look, they've already tried to ban porn in certainly the state of Florida, parts of the country. Who's to say they're not going to plan to ban liquor?
Well, they'll target LGBTQ plus businesses like this one here that's selling this. You know, that's what it is that they're putting the spotlight on this particular company. So, if you're an LGBTQ plus organization and we do not like your product, we are not going to let you, sell it. You know, we're going to bankrupt you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the fear or the threat of something happening to you. We see that in schools where teachers have run away from being GSA sponsors because they don't want to deal with what happens around them.
They don't lose their jobs, Scott.
Businesses then will stop selling products that they feel the government will then come knocking on their door about.
And no one's going after the whippets, or no one's going after the freaking keyboard duster things that all these people are huffing, right? Like, no one's going after that, but you're going to go after our poppers? I mean, like, it's crazy time. And like you said, I mean, it's like every story is like we go back just a little bit more. Pep and Prep, right? Because it's got some kind of relationship with the LGBTQ plus community. That's why they also don't want to cover that. Right. Anything associated with us, which is why, like we said before, we've got to make sure that we support local, support LGBTQ, support BIPOC, because they're coming for us. These poor businesses, these are small mom and pop places. Again, they're selling poppers. I get it, but they're still businesses. What happened to the American dream about having a small business and having it not be infiltrated by the government in this way? That is the big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world.